brought this judgment upon themselves.
They are just lost. It is our place to guide. I've watched you kill each other over race and greed. Wage war over dust and rubble and words in old books. And yet, in the midst of all this darkness, I see some people who will not be bound.
I don't even believe in God.
Well, that's just fine. Bobby doesn't believe in you either.
What's up, everyone? Peace. This video is about, as you can see here, a transmitter inside of football and how sports is rigged. To some it's a theory, to me it's a fact. As you can see, this diagram and these videos will show a lot of evidence to prove that sports is rigged. Now, I found evidence in football, basketball. This is mostly about football, so let's check it out. Peace.
Football fans know that tracking a football isn't easy. The game is fast, the players are big, coaches and even referees know that too. The trouble is, inches matter in football. The exact location of the football can determine whether a player gained enough yardage for a third down conversion. The exact location can also show if the ball crossed the goal line for a touchdown. In short, the spot of the ball can affect who wins the game. Just watch what happens in this Appalachian State football game. Can you tell if the ball crosses the goal line? Now, engineers at NC State may have a way to know for sure.
What we do is we turn the football into a small electromagnet.
The scientists work with Carnegie Mellon University and Disney Research to create a way to track a football in three-dimensional space.
You can do left, right, forward, back, up, down is 3, and then the football can be rotated this way, and the football can be rotated this way. So he could actually track the football in any orientation around.
It's all done using a low-frequency transmitter that is integrated into the football.
This is the rechargeable battery for the device. And then here's the actual transmitter. This is the on-off switch so we can turn it off. These are the 2 wires from the antenna coming up into the transmitter.
And here's the key. The transmitter creates a current in the wire, which turns the ball into a pretty simple electromagnet. This time-lapse video shows how it's all put together. The ball is deflated and unlaced. The bladder is removed, and then a wire is wrapped around the bladder several times. The bladder is put back into the football, and then the antenna and the transmitter are epoxied together to make them more durable. Everything is then packed back into the football, which is laced back up and then reinflated. The weight is within the standard deviation of accepted professional football weights. The ball is carefully balanced.
If you think about a science experiment you might have done in school where you wrapped a coil of wire and then connected the coil of wire to a battery and then looked at what happened to a compass, you're measuring the same sorts of things that you did with the iron filings and the permanent magnet. In one case, it's a permanent magnet. The other case, it's created by the currents, but the fields are very similar. And effectively, what we're doing is we're taking the football and turning it into a magnet, just like the coil of wire that you did in the science experiment in school.
And here's how it works. Watch the player, and then watch the arrow on the side of the screen.
You know, everybody likes to do something cool. Everybody likes to see something that's entertaining. So you can see as he's running down here, the ball really is changing directions as he moves it in his arm and runs across the field. So you can see not only his location, but also that orientation. And you see there's a red and a yellow line, and the yellow line's really telling you the orientation. So when the ball's flat, horizontal to the field, the yellow line's straight, and as it tips up, that yellow line gets shorter and shorter and shorter.
There's a series of antennas placed around the field to track the signal produced by the transmitter. A computer uses the data to place the ball.
This is one just showing the accuracy. So we've got one of our researchers walking the line, and this is showing the direction of the ball, so it's pointed to his right. And he's within 1 foot of the goal line, mostly within 6 inches as he walks.
And remember, the football is producing a low-frequency signal. That's important because low-frequency signals pass through the human body. The ball won't get lost in a pileup of players.
We use magnetic waves, which may not mean anything to most people, but typical radio waves get absorbed by our bodies or get shoulder pads, helmets, metal things. The magnetic waves tend to ignore us. We're sort of transparent, if you will, to the magnetic waves. So by using magnetic waves, when all the players huddle around the ball, the waves just propagate through them and we can see them just fine. So the players themselves don't affect the fields we measure whatsoever.
And the electromagnetic signals produced are good for tracking a football and safe for people.
There actually is an analysis that we had done where you actually calculate, you take a human body model, and we calculated the football sitting right here. If you held it, how long you could hold it, and I think you could hold it for a full 4 or 8 hours, and you'd still be below all the acceptable limits for things.
Researchers admit the system needs fine-tuning, but the NFL and several other sports leagues are reviewing the technology.
And it was just cool to be able to do something that enabled us to interact with the sports team, and that was so easy to understand. You know, a lot of the work we do in research doesn't always take us into something that's exciting and also that you can share.
Hi, I'm Colin Loeffler with the Minnesota Vikings, and this is the Ultimate Reception. Now every kid can catch like a pro. Come take a look.
Ultimate Reception is the most innovative youth sports entertainment product in years. Players using an Ultimate Reception football and gloves are so effective they are not allowed in any high school or NCAA football game. This product is strictly for youth and athletes who want to catch like a pro every time. Ultimate Reception features a patent-pending magnetic grip system that literally makes the ball stick to your hand. And with the smallest, strongest magnets in the world on your side, it usually only takes one hand.
Alright, so subject one, what did you think about the Ultimate Reception?
It's amazing. You can't even drop it with the gloves. Just make a lot of catches you weren't allowed to make without the gloves. It's pretty awesome.
So how easy did it make it catching it one-handed?
Stick your glove out there and the ball sticks to it.
Good deal.
And suggested that Tom Brady was at least generally aware. We get late details from NBC's Peter Alexander.
This video has been blowing up on the web over the last few days, causing NFL fans great anger after the Patriots upset the Jacksonville Jaguars to advance to the Super Bowl for the 10th time. If you look closely, this referee appears to be celebrating the touchdown with the Patriots when he should have been officiating the game. This video has fans crying foul and forced the league to finally acknowledge that the NFL games are sometimes fixed in order to drive revenue and ratings. Watch that again. The same referee congratulating Tom Brady after the upset. Not only did the video cause NFL fans to hemorrhage from their brains, it also caused uproar with the players. Denver Broncos star TJ Ward simply tweeted, "Rigged, shaking my head." The next morning, Jaguars cornerback Jalen Ramsey confirms everyone's suspicions when he admits, "Coach told us in the middle of the fourth to give the game to New England. We didn't want to, but commissioners said it's best for the league. Ramsey quickly deleted the tweet, but it seems it was already too late. Reports out of New York indicate that Roger Goodell has permanently banned Ramsey from the league in response to his tweet. In an interview this morning, Colin Cowherd grilled Goodell over the ban and asked if he had maybe taken things too far.
Is it realistic to say, listen, NFL, this is the one part of your content you're not going to be able to control. Lighten up on Twitter, NFL, and let the kids talk?
Well, we do. Obviously, we have a social media policy that is constantly changing. In fact, we made a lot of changes earlier this year. And yes, what we have is a technology that allows our players to have direct access to our fans, and it creates a unique opportunity. However, we also have obligations to our partners and our advertisers. And anything a player does to hinder that process, it won't be tolerated. So unfortunately, we had to let Mr. Ramsey go because what he did was a clear violation of that policy.
After his interview, Goodell held an emergency press conference acknowledging he made several mistakes and eventually admitted to having games rigged in order to create a super dynasty.
Over the past several weeks, we have seen all too much of the NFL doing wrong. That starts with me. I got it wrong. I made a mistake, and I'm sorry for that.
What fans don't realize is that this press release only came out after WFKE News obtained an unreleased interview between former NFL referee Richard Ndabu and Jim Rome, where Ndabu admits to rigging games in order to not only drive up ratings and revenue, but also help him and his colleagues win bets.
You didn't just share information and help your buddies. You actually started to bet on the games.
Correct.
How did that happen? How come?
Just sitting at lunch with other referees and getting information to where, we were going to stick it to somebody that night.
One specific team Ndabu stuck it to was last year against the Buffalo Bills when he confessed in front of 80,000 Patriots fans that he was going to create a completely fake penalty against the Bills in order to offset a blown call in which he robbed the Patriots of a touchdown.
I totally blew that call. In fact, it wasn't even close. But don't worry, I'll penalize the other team for no good reason in the second half to even things up.
Hall of Fame quarterback Joe Montana was asked if this cheating has been a long-time practice in the NFL, and he responded.
Well, they always say if you ain't cheating, you ain't trying. So they're trying hard.
Whether fans think this is funny or not, apparently this is the reality of pro football. When asked if he was going to have any discomfort in giving Tom Brady another Super Bowl trophy, Goodell likened the sport to professional wrestling.
I gotta ask you, you just gotta be as honest as you can. If you handed the trophy to Brady, wouldn't there be a little discomfort maybe because of all the talk and the narrative and the media and people say, would you be slightly uncomfortable for even a moment?
Not for a second. This is one of the great opportunities we have. The Patriots are an awesome team and have been gifted the opportunity to be there. They deserve it. So I'm definitely going to be thrilled. Tom Brady is one of the all-time greats. He has been for years. He's on the precipice of at least potentially winning his 6th Super Bowl ring. I mean, who am I kidding? Let's just be honest. They're going to win 37-32. He's definitely an extraordinary player, a great performer, and a surefire Hall of Famer. So it would be a great honor. And look, at the end of the day, we are here to provide entertainment to the fans. Nobody asked Vince McMahon if he felt uncomfortable for allowing The Undertaker to go on a 21 winning streak at WrestleMania because he knew he was creating an amazing legacy. So you don't see wrestlers going around calling the matches fake or rigged because at the end of the day, we're creating amazing stories that entertain people. And it should be no concern to anyone if we decide to allow Tom Brady to win the next 32 Super Bowls. We want him to walk away as a king. Period.
Coming to you live from New York with this exclusive satire parody news story, I'm I Shat on You, WFKE News. Make sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel and click on the bell in order to be notified when we release new stories. Unfortunately, we aren't able to earn much from our posts right now. If you enjoy our videos and would like to support us with just $1, please find us on Patreon.com/Satire Daily.